Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to English Edutainment. I hope you'll be doing well, feeling well, enjoying well. This is me, Yasin Khan, and today we are going to discuss brief concepts of literature. To be more specific, these would be the basics of literature. First, we'll define literature, then we'll define art, and then we'll have a detailed discussion on the concept of beauty. Literature. Literally, literature means any written piece of work or any written work. For example, articles, books, research papers, newspapers, etc. All can be termed literature because they have been given written form. So anything that exists in written form can be termed as literature. However, the artistic definition of literature is quite different. For some people, it is the reflection of society or it is the mirror of society because literature tells us about the social conditions of a particular society or about the behaviors and the acts of a particular society in a particular era or in a particular time period. For example, Chaucer's Canterbury Tale tells us about the social conditions of that particular society. And throughout this literary work, it has been exposed that the whole society was involved in corrupt practices, including the clergy, including the elites, including the laborers. All of them were involved in corrupt practices. Similarly, the paintings before the French Revolution exposed that how the labor class, how the working class was exploited by the upper class, by the elite class, or by the rulers. So basically, literature tells us about the social conditions of a particular society or about the mentality of a particular society, about the behaviors and the actions of a particular society. Apart from this, some people say that literature is the expression of thoughts and emotion through splendid, stupendous, and sublime words. For example, in poetry, you expresses your emotions. The emotion might be ordinary, they might not be extraordinary, but when you give them beautiful expression, when you give them beautiful words, it becomes literature. In literature, ordinary thoughts and ordinary emotions are given splendid and stupendous description. Apart from this, some people define literature as the art of words because with the help of the words, you have to express your mentality, you have to express your philosophy, you have to express your thoughts, and you have to express your emotions. So, due to this reason, literature is termed as the art of words. Now, if literature is the art of words, then what does art mean? What is art? So, art is basically the reflective expression of beauty. It reflects beauty or it expresses beauty. In simple words, when you inculcate beauty in something through words, through acts, or through brushes, that is beauty. For example, the poetry and the novels, they are beautified with the help of words. Similarly, the novels and the dramas, they are beautified with the help of acts. And in the same way, the paintings are beautified with the help of brushes, with the help of canvases. So this is the basic definition of art, that art expresses beauty. The main motive of art is to express beauty. Now, if art is the reflective expression of beauty, then what does beauty mean? What is the concept of beauty? So, beauty is actually an abstract concept. It's a subjective term and everyone has its own definition. But before going into the details and the definitions of beauty, we have to understand the types of beauty. Broadly, we have two types of beauty. The first one is poetic beauty, and the second one is artistic beauty. Poetic beauty refers to the beauty of a written work or the beauty of a literary work. And according to Matthew Arnold, if a literary work is balanced in terms of its manner and matter, that's beautiful. If a literary work is balanced in terms of its contents and its context, then it's beautiful. However, the artistic definition of beauty is quite diverse. It has multiple versions. Which is of in today's lecture, we'll just explain the version of John Elia and John Keats. So according to John Elia, anything that is absent, anything that is crucially needed, anything that is crucially desired, or anything that is demanded as beauty, or anything which doesn't exist as beauty. For example, if you don't have power, it's beauty. If you don't have wealth, it's beauty. If you don't have health, it's beauty. And even if you don't have beauty, it's beauty. So, according to John Elia, beauty is something which doesn't exist, or which is desired, or which is demanded. Let me give you a very realistic example. I had a MacBook. It was working quite smoothly and splendidly, and at that time, I didn't realize its video. But now, when it has become dead and it has stopped working, I realized that how variable it was. When it was working, I thought that, yeah, why I have bought this particular object. But now I realize that, it's very variable to have MacBook. So according to this definition, when you don't have something, it's beautiful for you. Now let's move toward the definition or the approach of John Keats toward beauty. So according to John Keats, beauty is the quality of an entity to attract our senses and give us emotional satisfaction. And it's actually an objective view, and this concept has been endorsed mostly as compared to other approaches or compared to other concepts of beauty. So, according to Keats, beauty is something which attracts our senses. According to this definition, beauty is something which attracts our sense of sight, our sense of hair, our sense of smell, our sense of touch, etc. For example, if you saw a beautiful lady standing in a park and and she attracts you toward herself, then that's the beauty of that lady. Similarly, seeing her or watching at her gives you satisfaction or gives you pleasure. It means that she's beautiful. Secondly, if you smell something, some splendid and some stupendous fragrance, and it gives you pleasure and it gives you satisfaction and it attracts you toward itself, then it means that that fragrance or that object is beautiful. So basically, we have two components of beauty. The first one is attraction, and the second one is pleasure. Beauty will always attract us toward itself, and it will always give us pleasure. And this concept is actually given by John Keats in one of his poems when he says that a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases, it will never pass into nothingness. So it means that beauty is also a universal concept. So this was the concept of John Keats, and another concept or another term that is associated with beauty is the concept of binary opposition. Dialectically, beauty exists because of its contrary. For example, the contrary of beauty is ugliness. If there were no ugliness, there would have been no value of beauty. So, this concept can be easily comprehended by some verses of Ghani Khan's poetry. For example, Ghani Khan says that سپین به سوي خو چې تور ترېنه جدا شي په دې سپینو خو د تورو خوند پیدا شي او سپوږمۍ سپینه سپینه ورځ کې رڼا نه کړي توره شپه چې په خوره شي نو رڼا شي. So this concept can actually be comprehended by the verses of Ghani Khan. For example, if there was no hate, there would have been no value of love. If there was no death, there would have been no value of life. If there was no ugliness, there would have been no value of beauty. If there was no black color, there would have been no value of the white color. So, actually, beauty is given value with the help of its binary opposition. And this is actually a dialectical concept of beauty. Apart from this, another concept is given by Shakespeare. When he says that beauty lies in the eyes of beholder, it means that it depends upon the beholder that how he sees something. For example, something would be beautiful for me, it would not be beautiful for you. Something would be beautiful for you, it would not be beautiful for me. So it actually depends on the perception, depends on the perception and the mentality of the beholder that how he sees something. However, it's nowadays beauty actually lies in the filters of Insta and Snap. That's another debate, but these different concepts have been given regarding beauty by different scholars, by different giants, including John Keats, including John Elia, including Shakespeare, etc., including Matthew Arnold, who is a famous critic in English literature. Now let's conclude the whole discussion. We define literature from the perspective of its literal meaning, that is anything that is written as literature. Similarly, we also define literature from its artistic perspective, or we also define literature artistically, which is that literature is the reflection of society, or it is the mirror of society, which is the expression of emotions, which is the expression of thoughts, and we also say that literature is the art of words. Then we defined art, which is the expression, which is the demonstration, which is the exposition, or which is the reflection of beauty. And this beauty is expressed by three methods. The first one is words, the second one is acts, and the third one is brushes. Then we had a detailed discussion on beauty. We defined beauty from the perspective of Matthew Arnold. We defined beauty from the perspective of John Elia. We defined beauty from the perspective of John Keats, and we also defined beauty from the perspective of Shakespeare. I hope you would have learned something. If yes, your like, your share, and your subscribe matters a lot. Thank you so much.